We have our next speaker. I am honored to introduce, raised in the small town of Elton, Louisiana, Krystle Simon has dedicated nearly 2 decades to the Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Corrections. A graduate of McNeese State University, she began her career at Allen Correctional Center as a file clerk and steadily rose through the ranks. In 2022, she was promoted to Assistant Warden 3, where she now provides administrative oversight for the education, medical, mental health, classification, and re-entry departments. Her leadership reflects her strong commitment to rehabilitation, dignity, and positive transformation within the correctional system. Assistant Warden Krystle Simon has been an active supporter of faith-based programming and has played a vital role in Kolbe Prison Ministries, participating since the very first retreat at Allen Correctional Center in 2018. Please welcome Assistant Krystle Simon.
Good morning, everyone. So this morning, oh wow, y'all look great out there. Hey, Mr. Ford. So forgive me, I'm not a huge public speaker, but so I'm going to be informal. They tell me I have an accent, so just bear with me if it doesn't make sense. Yes, I am the assistant warden at Allen Correctional Center in Kinder, Louisiana. And, excuse me, St. Kolbe came to our facility. We were the first facility in Louisiana that St. Kolbe came to have a retreat at. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into when my warden said, hey, these guys want to do something here, help them out. And I said, okay, and we started talking, and I was like, whoa, this is different. This is not what I thought. I thought there would just be a little group come in and have a little church service and go on, you know. I thought that was all I was going to have to deal with. Boy, was I wrong. There was a lot to adjust to bringing the retreat into the facility, right? The facility is, we have all these rules and we have all this structure and we have these timelines and only certain things can come in and certain things can't come in, and that's just the way it is. So I was, am I going to convince my superiors that these have to bring all these people in here and they want to bring music and food and fruit? You know what they do with fruit and Christmas? All kinds of things with fruit. So it was definitely a challenge to bring St. Kolbe in, but boy, I'm so glad I did. The topic of my discussion, I guess they asked me for a topic and I was like, I don't know, and then it just hit me, the love that St. Kolbe Prison Ministry gives. I mean, the love that they provided to our facility was just phenomenal. I had no idea what was fixing to happen. And I think when, I don't need that anyway. I think when, thank you. When they came in, and I always think back to the very first retreat, and the faces on the inmates just blew me away, just looking at their reaction, their faces, because they had no idea what they were walking into. I had no idea what was fixing to happen. And I'll never forget, and let me back up just a minute. I brought someone with me, Ms. Ramona Caesar, who is my right hand. She is my ARDC supervisor manager. I guess she says I can't make a move without her, because I was like, please come with me to this. And on the Saturday morning, she came with me, but do you remember Micah Howard? Yes. Little Micah Howard. So he was an inmate that gave us trouble. Oh my goodness, he could never stay out of trouble. He was always, and so they were like, bring in some of these ones that give you trouble. I'm like, no, I don't want to give you guys the good guys, so this will be successful. But we risked it with little Micah. He was a little guy, he was about that tall, but I'm telling you, he gave us the blues. And he walked into that retreat. And I know you guys are all familiar with the retreats in the prison, and so everyone was lined up while they were walking in and hugging them. And his little face, I never saw this kid smile before. And I mean, he was just in shock. I don't know if it was from shock or if it was true feeling of love, and that's what I really think it was, but he smiled the whole way down that aisle getting into the gym when we were having the event. And his face is what I always think of when I think of the very first retreat we had at Allen Correctional Center, because it just blew his mind, and he smiled. I never saw him smile before. He smiled. And he kept that smile on throughout the entire retreat. Every time I would pop in to see how things were going, he was smiling, you know, and I was like, wow, that was a lot. So at that point, we knew that we had something special with Kolbe Prison Ministries coming in. I call it the hugging ministry because they still come in to this day and they're hugging the inmates and telling them how much they love them. And not every ministry does that. Not every ministry shows that affection. Trust me, I know. I've been there 20 years, and I've had I call them the one-hitter quitters. You know, they come in and they may do a big event, and then that's it. I don't see them again. Kolbe is there every week, every Wednesday. And not only are they there, but they're there in numbers. Every Wednesday evening, if I work late Wednesday evening, I'm leaving out of the front gate and there's a line of cars. And I think today's Wednesday. Kolbe is here. And the guys just, they look forward to it so much. You guys have no idea of the guys that don't even have someone to call. This is their lifeline. Every Wednesday night is their lifeline. They are so grateful for the love and the support. Even when they release, they still get that support, right? I have Mr. Alfred, Mr. Cecil, he calls me sometimes, bless his heart, I'm never by the phone, I'm always running all over, but he will call until he gets me, and a lot of times his thing is, hey, so-and-so's releasing tonight at midnight, can I come and make sure he gets his with his family and they leave, and I'm like, yes sir, you can. And so I have to go through a little process because at the prison, everything has to be just right, and if they ask, they may not understand the love that the volunteers are giving. So I have to make sure that's clear. But it's those little things like that, it just means the world and makes such a huge difference. Like I said, we have a lot of volunteers. We have a lot of ministries that come out, but it's just something special with Kolbe. Like I said, they come every week. That in itself is not taken for granted. The guys call, the inmates come and want to know if they're coming, if they're not coming, while they're not. Is anybody sick? Is anybody not feeling it? They have genuinely formed a family there. And I can't thank you all enough for everything that you have given to us as a facility. I will say the staff also are excited to see Kolbe coming, especially when it's a time for retreats, because they enjoy it just as much. They enjoy the music, they enjoy the food. They're always looking forward to it, and I have some officers that actually request that they know that the retreat is coming, and they will be like, hey, I'll work it. I'll work the whole weekend for you, you know. You don't have to pay me totally, but, you know, I'm like, well, we'll feed you really good, and they're good with that. So I just wanted to express to you all how much your work, how grateful we are. You may not know it. You may think that you are not worthy enough to do this type of work, but oh, you're so wrong. You are worthy. We need every one of you. We need all, all of your differences we need. You all have something to offer. You all have different aspects. You all have been through different things that these guys need. And so you never know what you're harboring, what you have that you can help them with. That's just something you struggle with. They probably are struggling with the exact same thing. So many of them have nothing, have no one. So many of them don't know what Jesus is. So many of them have been introduced to Jesus thanks to Kolbe Ministries also. So it's amazing the work that you guys put in to our facilities. I'm grateful to say and happy to know that they've spread from just Allen Correctional Center. St. Kolbe has been all over Louisiana, I think, and maybe still trying to scratch into a few more. And I encourage you all to continue doing that. Get involved, and yeah, don't quit. Don't quit. We need you. We need you to keep coming into the facilities and making a difference. So I would like to do some Q&A. Is that okay? If you guys have any questions for me that maybe you're thinking about getting into the prison system and checking out, and maybe you're hesitant, maybe you have some questions. Yes.
So what would you, or would you be willing to write a letter? I'm getting it's started in Lafayette, Diocese of Lafayette. Talking with a few people who are having trouble getting into some of the prisons. And recently I have a judge that's helping us to get into prisons. But would you be willing to write a letter to share what you've done, what Kolbe has done for you, that we can show the other prisons?
Absolutely.
That we can help? And
absolutely.
What else would you share that can help to bring that to other prisons as well?
I would definitely love to share anything, a letter, a phone call, an email, a Zoom, anything that would help you guys get into any facility. I think I was able to share that with Hunt Correctional Center. Their assistant warden there reached out to me, and I was like, don't waste time. Do it, let them in, get them in there. So absolutely.
Can you share with us how much it's affected the facility, these retreats?
Yes,
have
sir.
Affected the facility as a community, even those that have not been in the retreat?
Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. Tremendously, especially the first 2 to 3 weeks after a retreat has completed, we definitely notice a difference. Now, it does phase out because, I mean, it is a prison, and we get you guys in all the time, but we do notice a difference of disciplinary going down those first 2 to 3 weeks. I think they're still on a high from what they've experienced. It has brought our Kolbe ministry has brought this, and it's not just, and I say it's a Catholic community. Our Catholic community was already strong, but oh my gosh, it's so much bigger now. And they have brought in so many new faces and new people. So it's huge. But it has, like I said, not just the inmates, the staff are even, they know Wednesday nights, I don't want to hear that it's canceled. It better go on. You know, and they don't even, they will try to do whatever they have to do to make sure Kolbe is in there. We look forward to having them every retreat. So the staff get excited about it. They're ready to help. They want to know when is it, what we got to do, you know. So it has brought just so many positive aspects to Allen Correctional Center. You guys have been just a blessing. It really has. And when we were asked to come here today, my head warden, Warden Cooley, was asked, and unfortunately he couldn't be here, but he asked me to come, and he said, well, thanks for doing this for me. I said, are you kidding? They do too much for us. I have to be there. You guys, and with just your presence, I can't even explain how much just that consistency of your presence, it just does wonders for our population, wonders. Hi.
Krystle, you're from Elton.
Yes.
Do you know the Fusiliers?
I absolutely do. There's only 500 people that live in Elton.
We're the Fusiliers, my aunt. And
Which one?
Brenda and Ronnie.
And Ron.
They own
Yes, I know Brett and Nina.
Brett,
Yeah,
yeah.
I graduated with Nina.
Okay, Brett's my cousin, and obviously Nina's my cousin-in-law.
Okay.
I wanted to, this is my first bout with anything here. I mean, I'm just trying to find out what it's about and hopefully get involved. How do y'all decide who gets to attend in prison? Like, who gets to come to the retreats? How is that decision made?
So I work really closely with the core group, and they actually, for the retreat, they actually select their core, their group. But they still have to come through our process. So our process is an application that they have to fill out, and there's a training that you can get online and take. You have to take that training and get the certificate, and then we run a criminal background check on absolutely everybody. Just because if you do have a criminal past, that doesn't mean you won't be able to come in. I just have to look at it and see if what it was for, how long ago it was. If you're currently on parole, why are you on parole? You know, we have to dig and just make sure that the parole officer is okay with you coming back in. And then my warden will make the final decision if there's any criminal history. So it's not an automatic denial if there's criminal history, because you see it all the time, and I know you guys see it in this ministry, that those are sometimes the best people to come back in and share their stories. But yeah, there is a small process, and it's after that, it's not hard at all to get in. I think there's a few over here with their name.
Hello.
Hi.
I know I did 5 of the retreats at your prison,
Sure have.
and it's been really awesome. You know, some of the first ones I did, we were having, I guess if you would rate your prisoners on good boys to bad boys, we pretty much had a lot of the good boys.
That's right. Yeah.
And I've seen this thing step up, and and it's been amazing where we're at now. I think this is what, number 8, 9? Yeah, 9 going on. And I guess, I don't know if you're involved with picking who does that. I'm pretty sure you are, if I had to guess.
Yes, sir.
But can you elaborate on that a little bit, how you go about picking from the good boys to the bad boys?
Absolutely. So I don't want to give y'all all of the bad boys at one time, because then y'all will never come back. But we do want some of the bad boys to come in, right, and try to get the experience. And actually, I think you guys had to kind of twist my arm a little bit to give y'all more bad boys, because I was like, oh gosh. But they do need it too. They definitely need it. And so they can sign up. Anybody can sign up for it. We let them know what the dates are, because it runs into the weekend, and that's when there's family visitation during the weekend. So they have to know in advance, hey, don't have your families come because you're going to be involved in the retreat. And they sign up, and we have a little application that they have to fill out. And then if they've been good, they're a shoe-in. And then Ms. Caesar and I and some of the other security, they may even say, hey, can y'all please put this guy in the retreat for us, please, because he's something else and he could use it. Or he's on the verge. We see he wants to do better, but if this may be, what helps. So we do sit down and talk, and then sometimes we put some in, and they don't last for the whole retreat. And that's the nature of the business. But yes, we do screen. There is a small screening process for the guys to participate. For the retreatants, that's what we call them. And then we have the team, the inside team. I assist with identifying those guys, and they really have to just go to renew every Wednesday and not really miss any of the renews on Wednesday nights. So a lot of times we'll put those guys in to help with to be the inside team to help out with that.
Warden Simon, can you talk a little bit about what we can do to help the staff when we're coming in and out? Are there any tips and tricks that you can kind of share with us?
Have patience with us, and y'all do that awesomely. Sometimes staff, we have a lot of new staff, and they don't always understand the urgency of us getting our visitors in and getting them where they need to be. So just remember to have patience. We are the ones that Ms. Caesar and I are very good at pushing them and making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and getting you guys in. The only other thing that I may have had issues with ministries is the dress code, because we don't want you guys to dress like the inmates. And so I know that may sound small, but that can really be big, especially with all the males. The blue jeans and then the blue jean type shirts, that's what the inmates wear, so we don't want you to wear those. So when they come in with their shirts, different color shirts, that's always a plus. We typically go over really well with you guys what you can bring into the facility and what you can. Of course, you can't bring like cell phones and devices like that. You just don't bring anything that's extremely valuable, because we don't want you to lose it or break it or that kind of thing as well. But that's it. Just have some patience with us, because sometimes the process can be slow, just depending on what's going on in the facility that day, because there's always something different every day. You never know. I mean, driving up here, this is my duty weekend on top of coming here, and so they're calling me all the way up here, and then I get here and they tell me there's a pipe that burst in the middle of it. Oh, that's great. So I'm going to cut off all the water at the facility. Oh, that's wonderful. But so you never know what's going on from day to day and time to time. I mean, when I left, everything was fine. By the time I got here, there was a busted water pipe, So.
Any other questions, guys?
So I was just thinking about what you were saying about, who you choose to let in, and it was making me think of how people compare church to a hospital, and, everyone at church is a sinner, but we're there for a reason. And so it seems like you kind of have that attitude in terms of some people really need this, even if they're not what you would think of as an ideal candidate. Maybe that's what makes them the ideal candidate. Do you have to justify who you let in? Are people ever upset that someone got picked over them?
You don't see it very often, but I have had some before. One for sure felt that I left him out and let somebody else in, and so I was able to justify it as, well, he had disciplinary. And so I said, well, this other person I let in because he didn't have any disciplinary, and so I was able to justify it that way. But I haven't really ran into that issue before, not other than that. And the very next retreat, I put that person in, just to say, hey, I wasn't trying to leave you out. So if they really, really want it, I want them to have it as well. But yeah, that's how I handle that. Thank you.
I was wondering about when you selected some of the bad boys. One of the things I know that we found is a lot of the gang leaders are leaders, and if we can get them to come through and convert them, then they're still going to be leaders, but in a much better
way. Absolutely. And I will say, Louisiana is unique in the gang than other states, that we don't have a lot of gang-related is not nearly as strong as and I'll just compare to Texas because I'm familiar. So you would be surprised that in Louisiana you don't see as much of the hardcore gang. You just don't see it. It's just, I don't know why. I really don't. I don't have an answer for it, but you really don't. There's some. It's small, and we are pretty, in Louisiana, you're pretty good at identifying them and keeping them separate in different prisons. But I tell you, if there's gang activity going on at Allen Correctional Center, they're doggone good at it because I don't see it. I don't see it. It's just, I don't know why. I have no explanation.
We have time for one more question.
We're adult, all male. Yes, ma'am, all male adults, 18 and older.
Thank you so much, Warden.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
A little nervous to get up here and was like hesitant, but now I'm like, oh, I forgot to say something. So just one more thing, if you guys, and I'll leave a few flyers, but Allen Correctional Center is actually the only facility in the state of Louisiana, the only state facility in Louisiana that does not have a chapel. We actually use a part of our kitchen, we call it our auxiliary kitchen, and we use that as our chapel. So we are on an initiative to raise funds for our chapel. So I do have flyers that I'll leave for you guys to check out, and if you are interested, my contact information is on there. So thank you.